You know, I'm just waiting for one time, which is what? One time for the audience to yell, no, don't bother.
Well, you made the whole theme song, so...
I know.
So until you change that...
I know. Oh, don't tip. Oh, you are inspiring me.
Can I just challenge you there?
You are inspiring me. Anyway, welcome back to another edition of SCI Wrestling. I'm WB Ward.
I'm Chip Douglas.
And did you hear that I'm going to be joining the WWE?
Really?
This was just announced today.
Breaking news?
Yep. And I just found this out like within minutes before we started recording this show. And by the way, for those of you at home keeping score, we are recording this on Thursday night, December the 11th. So if you want to check out what I'm telling you to be true, you can use that date as your launching pad. But yes, WB will be along with the WWE.
One more time?
WB.
Okay.
Will be with the WWE.
What?
Yep. It was announced today on Bleacher.
I checked Bleacher. I didn't see anything about your name.
Well, this is a new free-to-play game for mobile devices called WWE Immortals, which is going to be released in 2015. Okay. WWE announced this just earlier today is when they announced this.
Okay.
It's created by WWE and Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
The WB.
WB. WB.
That's where we get it. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I had my hopes all up. The game is being developed by the NetherRealm Studios and the group which is behind successful fighting franchises like Mortal Kombat and Injustice.
Cool.
So actually, it should be pretty cool. But it's the wrong WB.
Oh.
Yeah, their TV network didn't last very long either.
It's like when John Laurinaitis hired like the one-legged wrestler.
Oh, God.
And he actually hired the wrong one.
Oh, no. Well, he was going to sue him, but you know why that wouldn't go anywhere? Guy didn't have a leg to stand on. Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's the only reason for that. Man, that's going out on a limb. Why don't they make fun of John Laurinaitis? I've never heard anybody call him John Laryngitis. And that's such a
probably because they have more colorful names to call him.
Yeah,
I've never heard anyone say a good thing about him.
No, that's true. You do have your tweet of the week, right?
Absolutely.
Good, because it's time for me to hit this button right here. And here it comes.
Where are we going?
It's coming.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Get a Kleenex.
0.
Yes.
What time is it, kids?
Oh! All over everything. Okay.
You sick old man.
I know, right?
All right, this week's Tweet of the Week is brought to you by the Iron Sheik. And by the way, if you do check us out,
Iron Sheik.
If you do check us out on SCI_Wrestling, you're going to see a beautiful picture of my daughter.
Ooh.
Which was just taken back a couple weeks ago.
Oh, I think I saw that.
The wedding dress of Lantern.
That's right. Beautiful picture.
Yeah, beautiful picture. So, all people, you know, she's gorgeous. The wedding dress I have a little bit of a problem with, but everything else I'm okay with.
And she's how old?
4.
Okay.
Gorgeous little girl. So the Iron Sheik says, and this is just a random tweet, and he had to have been under in the influence of some kind of drugs when he tweeted this. It goes, respect French toast crunch and the cold beer.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, that is gross.
For those of you who don't know, that is a flavor of a cereal that they stopped making and then started making again. French toast crunch.
You know, I do have to give a shout out to WB Creative Humor though. This one, I gotta say it because it is really good. If Slammy Awards were any less prestigious, they'd be called titles.
Yeah. Those I got to tell you, the Slammies, the idea behind it, the concept behind it, brilliant. Its execution about as exciting as watching an 80-year-old woman with diarrhea.
You're right.
I mean, it's anybody who is anybody gets one.
Yep.
I mean, they are just totally meaningless.
Yep.
Now, if they just only had certain categories like Wrestler of the Year, maybe Diva of the Year, Finishing Move of the Year, Match of the Year, and that was it, it may be a little bit more meaningful.
Right.
But coming up with all these weird categories, bowel movement of the year, LOL moment of the year, burp of the year, it's just, wow. It harkens back to the days of elementary of now. Well, not harkens back. It's the way
Right.
elementary is now. Everybody gets a passing grade, whether you deserve it or not.
That's true.
And so it's just basically, well.
So before we get into TLC, because we do have the pay-per-view coming up this Sunday.
Do indeed.
Which we'll do our predictions, but let's face facts, it's a lackluster pay-per-view, so we'll talk about some other stuff beforehand.
You got any money?
Huh?
You got any money?
No.
Okay, well, it's just as well because it's going to be at the Quicken Loans Arena.
Oh.
So if you're in need of any cash, you can go down there and finance your TLC tickets right on the spot.
So it's in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes, it is.
All right, I knew that. But
Interest rates are high.
CM Punk made headlines once again.
I heard that.
And he decided to sign up with UFC, which is Ultimate Fighting Championship, mixed martial arts.
I can't help but wonder, is he in for one hell of a rude awakening?
Yes.
Because, these moves that he's... if you do any certain thing for so many years, it just becomes habit.
Right.
I wonder how hard he's going to be laughed out of the ring the second he does that going to sleep move. And he's going to want to do that just out of habit.
Well, after he wins, I think. If he does win, I can see him doing that. But because he's a trained fighter and he's training now in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so he's prepared for it and everything like that. But what I've heard on a previous podcast is the fact that he's been trained for so long to quote unquote fake hit.
Yeah.
He can kick for real and he can punch for real, but he's been trained for so long to make it look real.
Right.
Mentally that has to be tough.
This
is
is going
tough for him.
Yeah, and that goes back to my point that I just made.
Yeah.
There are going to be some decade-old habits that he's going to have to change.
Oh, absolutely.
This is not going to be easy for him.
Right? The other person on our side cage wants to knock you out.
So the only other part of this that WWE fans will love is it virtually guarantees if he's successful in the UFC, he will be back in the WWE eventually at some point.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
There's no question of it. Name one wrestler who went to the UFC who has not returned at some point.
Well, there's none.
Yeah, see, there you go. Anybody?
There's
who
only
has
been
gone-
one, though.
No, there's been more than one.
No.
Now it's been more than just Brock Lesnar.
Uh-uh.
There have been some other, maybe not the UFC, but that have gone on to Ultimate Fighting.
Batista.
Yeah.
Actually, Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, and then they eventually
Bobby
do
Lashley
come
didn't
back.
go back.
They do come back,
He went back to TNA, but not.
but he
WWE.
went back to wrestling.
Yeah.
But that is not totally off the counter though. He could pop back into WWE any day. He's a great candidate for it.
Right.
So yeah, I think it pretty much locks it in. He will be back if he's successful at UFC.
I think even if he isn't, I think there's still going to be that possibility.
Yeah, if he does, he'll be riding his wife's coattails.
Well, that's true.
Then that's a shame. I never thought I'd hear myself say that in regards to.
He's okay with that.
Is he really?
Yeah, because I heard on the Colt Cabana's podcast this part 2 of it.
Yeah.
To where he was talking about how people will do CM Punk chants during AJ's matches, and it's a sign of respect for both of them.
Yeah.
And CM Punk goes, if you respect her, chant her name, not mine. I'm not there. I'm not going to be there. Chant her name.
AJ Lee. AJ Lee. So. She needs to change that. No, I'm not going to go there. No, I was going to make a crude remark. But for once, I will.
For once, you're not going to do it.
I will bite my tongue.
You're going to resist.
I will not refer to her as BJ Lee. I will not do it. I will not go there. I promise I will not.
Good job.
But if that is true, though, if he's okay with riding her coattails, I got to tell you, if that turns out to be true, I'll lose a little bit of respect for him because nobody should be content with that. It's okay to respect your wife. All for that. That's wonderful. But to be willing to ride her coattails, nah. Be a man. Stand on your own.
Right.
Okay, so CM Punk going over to the UFC. It'll be interesting to follow that career as much as we possibly dare. Shall we go ahead and attack the pay-per-view now?
Absolutely, let's do it.
One thing I was thinking about when I was researching this on Sunday, one advantage, this may be a lackluster show, that's what you and I are both predicting, but I don't know. This seems to be far better organized than the last one because there's just simply more matches inked than there was on the last one going into it.
That's true. With all the gimmicks attached to all of them, I kind of like that. I just don't know how they're going to play.
Now, here's the one thing I hate about it. All the gimmicks they have been promoting the hell out of way too much.
Yeah, now it's table, ladders, and chairs and stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the stairs bit, that's new. I haven't seen that.
Oh yeah.
Not as a stipulation.
Yes. One of the Eric Rowan and Big Show
Yes.
is going to be a stairs match.
Oh no, I know that. What I mean is, leading up to this, I have not seen stairs being part.
I just saw it somewhere. I can't remember where.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it was somewhere in WB Network.
Okay. And you're right, Eric Rowan and Big Show. Big Show's probably not the best opponent for Eric Rowan, but I think Eric Rowan's got enough to pull this out of the bag. So I'm gonna actually go with Eric Rowan on this.
It depends. I mean, Eric Rowan is it's not working. It's not a good character. He's not getting over at all. I'll go with Big Show.
Well, yep.
Yeah.
One other thing I was kind of holding back on in regards to Big Show, one other reason why I don't see him going over on this match is because I have no substantiation on this. I have not heard any rumors, but the feeling is he is very rapidly going to turn back face.
Oh.
And in order for him to turn face, he cannot win this match.
Well, that's true.
So that
is true.
And the reason I'm thinking that is I just don't think the fans are ready to take him as a heel just yet. And I think they've been showing that. And if they respond to that, that's the direction they're going to have to go. But you've inked yourself in to say the Big Show is...
Yes, it won
okay,
that match.
let me put your selection down here. Big Show. Got it. Okay. Oh, I got your name down here as Chop. I misspelled it. It's Chip. Oh, there we go.
Chip.
Okay, New Day versus Golden Stardust. I'm going to let you have the first call on this one.
New Day.
Really?
Done. I mean, they're promoting them like crazy. They actually look good. As far as their matches, I mean, you can't take away from Kofi Kingston's athletic ability as a performer. But yeah, I think it's New Day all the way.
And very could be. And the ironic part here, I'm going to back Golden Stardust. But the ironic part here is the very reason I want to back Golden Stardust is the reason I should be backing New Day. And that's this. I think they've got too much money invested in Golden Stardust for them not to go on. And boy, do they have money invested in New Day.
Oh, yeah.
But the difference, I'm seeing a difference here between old money and new money. And with the old money on the table, knowing Vince McMahon, the way that I've known him to operate and others have known him to operate, if he has to choose between old money and new money, I think he's going to go with old money any day of the week.
Sure. I mean, I disagree with that.
Yeah,
because he always goes with the new flavor.
And no, that's a valid point. I can't argue that.
I mean, but what do I know? My favorite color is peanut butter.
Where have I heard that?
I'd steal your line.
Okay, let's get this boring thing out of the way. Cena versus Rollins.
Oh, Cena.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that's a surprise for me.
I just cannot see them putting Rollins versus Lesnar. I can't see it happening.
Now I've got to agree with you, and if I had to go with anybody, it would be Cena just for that reason alone.
Yeah.
And
I think Lesnar will interfere. I think that will ultimately be.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
And that'll be my prediction.
I think this is going to be the only one you and I are going to agree on. But yeah, and besides the fact of seeing Rollins in the match against Lesnar is just laughable to even think about.
Right.
The characters and the storylines just wouldn't even allow it anyway.
Right.
He's too tight with. Oh gosh, Rowan is way too tight with the Advocate, Paul Heyman.
Oh,
I can't.
Who is
Paul Rowan?
No, he's not.
Not Rowan. I mean Rollins.
Rollins?
It's not like they're buddy, good buddy, but I mean they're both heel, so
right.
Yeah, they're on the same page.
Right.
I mean they were talking. They had him talking on script, so it was quite clear that not even Paul was willing to put Rollins as an adversary against the man he represents.
Oh, okay.
Right. I mean, just in storyline, it doesn't even allow for it. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. Okay. Ladder match, Ziggler versus Harper.
Luke Harper.
I'm going to disagree with you on that. You're going to go with Luke Harper.
No, I was correcting your pronunciation of his name.
Oh, what did I say?
Luke Harper. No, like Luck Harper.
Oh,
Luck Harper is what you said.
that reminds me. Here in just a minute, you're going to have to explain to me what a tup is. Okay, so between Ziggler and Harper, who do you see on this?
Ziggler.
Ziggler? Okay, because that's... Well, okay, I'm going to disagree with you just for the purpose of having a disagreement.
It's going to be match of the night.
I think it will be. But so I'll go with Harper only because you didn't.
Okay. This is going to be... I mean, honestly, they should put this as main event because it has that capability.
It does.
It's going to blow Rollins and Cena out of the water.
I think you have the two, outside of the old-timers on the card, of what few there are, that you have the two classic wrestlers on there of the entire evening.
Right.
So yeah, I would have to say go with Harper, but I would also have to wholeheartedly agree with you. This really should be the main event for the evening, even though unfortunately it will not be.
I agree.
Now, getting into this next match between Swagger and Rusev, that brings me to the question, since you were correcting my English there, what the hell is a tup?
What are you talking about?
A tup.
What's
Well, every time Rusev comes out to on the ring, that blonde lady with the boobs that comes with him, what's her name?
Lana.
Lana. Okay, I just know her as the blonde lady with the
Hello,
boobs.
Lana.
She keeps talking about a tup.
A tup.
Tup. I knew I should have made the recording of it, but she yells out, "Shut up." Every week. It just grates me the way she talks because she comes out with this tup stuff.
Shut up.
It's shut. No, she goes, shut up. And it's, all right, say the word, no, put the T on the other word, not on the, okay. Unfortunately, I know she's playing the role of somebody not from this country, so she's murdering the English language. Unfortunately, she sounds like most of our citizens.
That's true.
Yeah, so, come on, get the language. I've got to go with Swagger on this. This particular kind of gimmick has got to come to an end, and I know I said this last time around, but I can just always hold out hope. But with the added suspense of Swagger's manager being injured and his leg broken, it's going to give him the extra incentive to go in there and just whoop some Russian booty.
That's true.
And so that's what I'm going to be voting for on this one.
Good job.
I take it you're agreeing with that.
It's Rusev all the way.
Oh, okay. So you're disagreeing with
Yeah, I'm disagreeing. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But you said Rusev.
No, I said Swagger.
Swagger? Okay. Yeah, I'm going Rusev.
Chip with Rusev? Okay.
I hate that they're going back to the well again on this storyline.
Well,
we just saw them do 2 pay-per-views like three months ago.
I know. And see, this is another reason why I'm going with Swagger.
Oh.
I think they are going back to the well just so they can dry it up and be done with it. And in order to do that, Swagger has to become victorious.
All right.
Maybe they're going to come out with that gimmick that I mentioned about giving him a riding crop to come out and beat the padoodles out of Rusev with. They call it a Swagger stick.
That's true.
well, it's no different than using the shillelagh that Finlay used to use. Just call it the Swagger stick.
All right.
Divas title. I like this idea of having this Divas title match lined up here between Bella and AJ. No question as to who's going to walk away with this. It's got to be AJ.
Agreed.
I mean, how could the writers possibly justify any other kind of a win?
I mean, oh God, I just hate watching the Bellas wrestle.
I know.
This is one of those matches where it's like, all right, this is my time to go make a sandwich, because I know I'm not gonna miss anything, and I'm okay with watching the get my little notification on my phone saying who won the match.
Yeah. And, even me, as big of a fan as I am of the Bellas, and with me just being a dirty old man, know why I'm a fan.
Well, I mean, there's 4 reasons why.
Absolutely. And even that doesn't interest me in this.
See?
So, yeah, I've got to tell you, I'm in wholehearted agreement.
I mean, maybe if they did it topless, I'd watch it.
And there have been times, and that's come awful darn close.
Agreed.
Oh, if that happened with AJ, nobody would notice.
Or Nikki Bella. No. Brie Bella. Brie Bella's the one.
Yeah, Brie Bella is the one who's smaller, but I wouldn't really call her a no timer.
Oh. Between her and AJ, who do you think's bigger?
Oh.
You think Brie's bigger?
Oh, I have toes that are bigger. Of course she is.
All right.
I mean,
moving on.
All right. Now, I agree with you. match between Ziggler and Harper should be the main event.
Yes.
But I got to tell you, with Miz and Mizdow, especially Mizdow on the card,
Yeah.
this one's got to be a big attraction between Mizdow and the Usos.
Yeah.
I love the developing storyline between one of the Usos, and I'm sorry, I forget which one, but it's the one that's married to Naomi, is starting to really go into get into Miz's face because Miz is making these professional come-ons
Yes.
to Naomi.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I think Naomi is going to turn heel.
I agree.
I could see that one coming up.
Yep.
And may even reunite with her former partner.
Ooh. I don't think so. I think her former partner's going to find herself in an unemployment line.
Well, that could be. Okay, but who do you see on this? Mizdow and Miz? Or the
I
Usos?
was going to go exactly what you just said. I think Naomi's going to turn heel and cost the Usos the match.
There you go.
I mean, to me, that makes a lot of sense. It'd be a good little storyline development. I think is it Jimmy Uso? I can't remember which one
think
is
it's
that's
Jimmy.
actually married to her.
And I forget too, but it's the one with the dark hair.
Oh, okay, it narrows it down to two.
One with the dark skin and the dark hair, yeah.
But man, he slapped the crap out of him on Raw.
Yes, he did.
Oh my gosh!
Yes, he certainly did. And you think this also could be the potential breakup between Miz and Mizdow? You know that's coming.
You know it's coming.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be at Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I think they'll probably hang on for a
the
while.
Miz will throw Mizdow over. And that will give a lot of heat to Miz. That will start that little friction right there.
I don't know. I think it'll go the other way.
Mizdow will throw Miz out?
Yeah.
Well, either way.
Because I honestly see this as being a case where Mizdow's just going to be fed up.
I mean, either way, it'd work well.
It would. And because I could see Miz getting fed up with Mizdow's popularity.
That's true.
So somebody's going to get fed on this somehow.
Yep.
And it won't be very tasty.
No.
This next match, it's almost disappointing to me at all that it's happening because it's going to be lackluster, and it's a shame because both of these people involved have such a tremendous amount of respect for me and a huge capability of following through, and that's Ryback and Kane in a chairs match.
Ooh.
This has such potential. I just don't think the potential will be there. But with that said, I've got to go with Ryback.
Me too.
And why is it? I don't know. Is Kane just getting old?
Yeah. I mean, he is getting older. I don't think he has much in the tank. I mean, he's still a great performer, but
Yeah.
there's nothing they can do with him. I think the only thing you could do with him right now is go back to Big Red Machine.
Did you hear Ryback's comments about CM Punk?
Uh-uh.
Basically called him a liar.
Wait, who said that?
One of the things CM Punk has been saying about Ryback is that Ryback broke his ribs intentionally.
Oh yeah, he works really stiff or too stiff.
And Ryback was on a talk show, and forgive me, I don't recall which one it was, but I heard Ryback saying that this was just a bold-faced lie. He said he doesn't work that way, and he would never work that way. And he gives his current employment status as evidence of that, because he said, if I worked that way, I wouldn't have a job. They wouldn't let me in the ring with their top names,
Right.
Because they'd know that I could put any one of them on an injured list real quick. So this isn't going to happen. It didn't happen with CM Punk, and it's not going to happen with anybody else.
It's true.
So it'd be interesting to see what would happen should CM Punk come back and confront Ryback. I think that would be an interesting show.
Maybe the first few you would do.
You think so?
Yeah.
Could be. Very well could be. But Ryback was amazingly candid about it and was somewhat perturbed by the rumor that CM Punk had perpetuated.
Right.
I got to tell you, ever since I heard that thing with Punk talking on the Cabana, I've lost a lot of respect for him. I really have. I've lost a lot of respect for.
I mean, and I understand why.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense why.
He's more of a diva than AJ is.
That's the truth.
And that's really what it boiled down to. I'm taking my ball. I'm going home because you're not giving me things my way.
Right.
Okay. Well, okay. We got one more match here. This is going to be the ultimate match of the night because it combines all of the above:
Yes.
the tables, the ladders, and the chairs.
Yes.
Ambrose versus Wyatt.
See Wyatt.
You really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go with Ambrose just to be.
You really think Wyatt's gonna win it?
I don't know. I think they are both equally boring. That's to me, that's a huge snoozer. So I will go with Ambrose only by virtue of the fact you went with Wyatt.
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed in Wyatt because of the fact when he started, you and I were both saying he's the next big thing. He's the next big thing.
Yes.
This guy has fizzled out quicker than my love life.
Ooh.
And that I didn't think anybody would fizzle out that fast. But boy, he sure did.
He still has it. He still has something there.
He does. And the audience is certainly right along with him.
Right.
So I know to that extent, I'm not espousing a very popular opinion here. But he hasn't really built on anything yet. There's really no depth. If you see one of Wyatt's promos, you've seen every one of them. There's nothing more to it. Right. It doesn't seem to be any depth to this.
Yeah, but would you say the same thing about The Rock?
At least The Rock would come up with new insults.
And he would.
And he was a great ad-libber. So I couldn't say the same thing about
just like Stone Cold. Stone Cold's a great ad-libber.
He's one of the best. Absolutely one of the best. And I think that is a real good litmus paper, litmus test for wrestlers is whether or not they can ad-lib.
Right.
And it harkens back to the question, though, just to cut Wyatt some slack here. I wonder if he's allowed to ad-lib. I wonder if that's even allowable for him.
It's a very good question. Never even thought about that.
Do you think maybe he might be having his hands tied saying stick to the script?
He could.
I know I've been
very well could.
I know I've been in a lot of shows where I was forced to stick to the script, and for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why.
I mean, honestly, there's one guy on that roster two. I think there's two people on that roster that have the ability to say, this is what I'm actually going to say. Thank you for your advice, but I'm going to do this my way. And that's Cena and Heyman.
And that's who?
Cena and Heyman. I think those are the two guys that do not have a script.
No, I will have to agree with you on both of those counts, but I would respectfully have to add to that list Goldust. Maybe not Stardust, but Goldust.
Well, yeah, he's been in the business long enough.
Yes, he has.
Because his old promos when he first came as Goldust, they didn't have scripts back then.
No.
They had points that you have to mention.
Yes.
But you let the character develop it. So I can see that. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, I would have to go with Goldust. I don't know if Stardust, his younger brother, has had enough experience yet.
I don't think they script him. The way he acts and the way he presents his words, it could very well be his brother saying, hey, listen, we got this. If anything happens, I can carry it. You
know who he kind of reminds me of?
Who?
He makes me, every time I see him, just in the way that he talks, it's almost like a prenatal version of the Ultimate Warrior.
Who, Cody?
No, it's Stardust.
Stardust?
Only because you can't understand a damn thing he's saying.
That's true.
Or what the hell is he talking about?
That's true.
And all due respect to the Ultimate Warrior, but he was not exactly the greatest spokesperson ever in the world.
Oh my gosh, his
well, I mean, he was a good
horrendous.
spokesperson. But as far as
he was not a good wrestler.
But as far as
not at all.
I loved listening to his promos only because it became a game as to trying to figure out who could understand what he was saying.
And he did that weird snout.
Oh yeah, and we used to do the snort drinking games. I mean, every time he did the snort, you take a drink.
Oh, really?
We had a bunch of drunk people in that room.
Oh my gosh!
It was a snort a shot or snot. No, not snot. Shot snorts or something to that effect. It was something goofy, just a reason to drink.
Yeah.
Okay. The pay-per-view this Sunday night is going to be at 7:30 Eastern on the WWE Network for the low price of $9.99. If you want to see it in person, you'll be spending upwards of $500 a ticket for a ringside, and that's going to be at the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. Be interesting to see what's going to happen. So join us for the post show on this coming Monday night, right here in a computer near you, with the wonderful and I'll see if I can redo that opening sound effect so we can have them sent.
Please do.
Yeah. And join us next week for this show that we call SCI.